This is my first video, but hopefully it's not too awkward. Hear my voice for the first time, so that'll be fun. Anyways, I'm gonna do a rebuild, or a, I don't know what you call it, but a rebuild of the patrol I made a little bit earlier this week. Here's some pictures of it. It was pretty good, but the only thing I wanted to really change was the tires are way too wide. They just look goofy. Other than that, it's pretty good. Or probably the suspension, you can see kind of around there. It was one piece, so I'm going to put my Fox racing coils I converted a little bit ago in there, just to add a little bit more detail. There you can see the twin turbo setup. Oh man, that was cool. But we're going to redo it, so that'll be good. Here's some inspiration for it. It's basically the patrols they have down in the UAE or like Dubai, where they do crazy drag racing and stuff. The super high mounted turbos is what I wanted to kind of get in there. That was my main inspiration. Except most of them are patrols, like Nissan patrols. So I was just gonna make mine Land Cruiser, so that'd be pretty sweet. But can't find the other picture I had. Hold on. No, apparently it's not in here. Alright. So basically I just took the back and put a box around it to make it look like the windows were blocked out. Thought that looked really neat. So I'll try and recreate that today, but see how it goes. So I'll start with the FJ80 Land Cruiser, which is a love Land Cruisers, which is awesome. So what you want to do to get that door delete on the back, so basically what I did was I took the Ute body and I just copied that, and I went back to the SUV and put that down to the side. So now that fills in that gap. Just delete the door handle there, and then basically just delete the glass and you're good to go. It's kind of hard to do, but and then these window trims around here will kind of fill in the gaps where the box doesn't fill in. Also, I took off the mirrors because, you know, weight reduction. But I'm not sure if I'll leave the tailgate off, because on the other one I took the tailgate off and just left a little bumper, but I might fill that in unless I can just paint that out. For the headlights, we're going to wait on that because that was actually put the Hilux headlights in there, so made it look just unique compared to the normal Land Cruisers. Put the stock guards on. There isn't really any other ones I can put on there, but it doesn't matter because we're lifting it. So bonnets, or hoods as the people in the Canada or US call them, and many other parts of the world, but alright. Just delete the radiator. Hold on. Toggle the underbody, because we're not going to be needing that. We don't need this interior floor either. So basically that's where I started off of. Taillights, we'll need those. Other parts. Okay, what I did with the flares, I took the front flares and the rear flares, and I color matched them and then widened them. I'll show you how to do that in a second. We do need the stock headlights for a second. So we take that group, copy it. I probably could have done that better, but remove everything else except this lower bar here, because that is gonna help bridge the gap between the Hilux headlights, make them look a little more stock. And hold on, try to get the Hilux headlights and then replace those. So hold on while I toggle the part filter. Oh geez. Alright. There we go. Okay, we're gonna be looking for N60, which is the code for Hilux and other. Like 400? No, just Hilux. I think it's type. Is that the one I use? Yeah, that's the one I use. Alright. So basically I think I just delete this little part inside. Once I can copy this because I don't want it moving around. Oh, that's fine. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. something I figured out with the imported parts I'll show you later. If you copy them before loading them in on a big build with a lot of parts, then you can, oh, okay, I'll just, alright, I'll just leave them stock then. On a big build with imported parts, if you copy the imported part group before you load it in, then it doesn't mess up any of the other imported parts you have, because sometimes I find that to be a problem. Because you'll be like building a super complicated imported part build, and then you'll end up having to redo it all because the parts all move around once you load one in. So that's a nice helpful tip for anyone. Let's move these into position. Oh goodness. I think what I did on the other part, I just made them longer, so this little part in here extends behind the guard, so it looks more stock. I don't know how much I did, it's probably like 20. There we go. And then also we'll fix the slant more there, but that doesn't matter too much. And obviously I had to toggle the width a little to get it to fit into the guards. Now I'm going to move that back one more. Scale the width. A little too much. Alright. So that's basically the starting point. There's a little gap there, but I might fix that. We'll see. Alright, I guess we can start on the boxing out of there. I'll toggle the parts again. I don't know why that froze when I used it earlier. I guess because it's just still loading assets, but yeah, I used the medium block. And these are really useful because if you can scale the width all the way down to like, I don't know, like sheet metal, and then just fill in parts. I also copy this because why not? I think there's a 20-degree angle on these, I'm not sure. I have to recheck. Or 19, my bad. Remember the randomest things. Let's try and line it up right there. Actually, I want that outline on it so I can see what else. We definitely have to change the height. And then, well, don't worry about that part. That's going to be color matched. So basically, you just want to block out this little bar from the ute. I mean, I could split that out, but there's not really a point because you won't see much of the inside anyways. So, move that a little more left. We're not going to do any other rotation on it. I mean, I tried doing a little tilt like on the x-axis, but that just really didn't work, so keeping it flat works best. Alright, definitely have to change the length. Is that good enough? Yeah, don't complain about the colors or anything, I'm definitely changing that. The stock color just looks bad. Never build with the stock color. I might do like a tutorial video for S-Tuner, seeing how well this does. Depends. First time really recording anything on S-Tuner. That's actually not true, eh? Carlito's Wagon, I don't know, he's a cool guy, follow him on Instagram. But yeah, I did a quick video of that because I wanted to, I don't know, it's hard to capture the essence of that with screenshots. So also what I did, I instead of making it completely flat like that, I wanted a bit more, not that much, but a bit more rounding on the edges so it blended better. So I think I did something like, how much, yeah, just about like that, because it just rounds in better. It doesn't just look like you put a piece of cardboard on the side of the car. So while we're waiting, contest you should enter. SBCS, well, no, you can't enter it anymore, I shouldn't say that, but you should definitely look at it for next year. Well, I'm one of the judges for the SBCS S-Tuner builds and S-Tuner builds and car show off competition and show off. My bad. But basically, it's just a massive competition. We used to call it sound, kind of just cut off in a second, but yeah. So So basically, we used to call it SEMA, yeah. So that was a huge show. I think it was even bigger than this year's, but maybe the name change had something to do with it. I don't know. We just wanted to make it more S-tuner, I guess you could say, less real, not real life, but more of a S-tuner thing rather than like a related to real life kind of thing. We wanted to make it our own unique thing. So I think Jose, me, and I don't remember who else it was, did it last year, but this year he had 7 more judges. But so that turned out really well. Really like that. But we're still in top 10, so top 10 people enter your builds. You want to judge them, but hope that goes well. Builds we've seen so far, sublime, outstanding. I don't know. They're really, really neat. Well, obviously they are because we chose you guys, but keep up the good work. Alright, so just change that a little bit. Like I said, this little window trim showing doesn't matter because I'm going to paint that the same color as the body in the box, so that should not matter as much. A little gap there. Ah, so close. What else can I talk about to fill in time? Not much. Alright, I'll leave that for now. I mean, it's alright. The corner kind of sticks out there. So we'll copy that again. Do another -19 because it's the other direction. Move it back. Next thing, I guess we'll do the flares next because some people thought this is an actual modded file, which I thought was kind of funny. A lot of people don't know that land cruisers are actually in S-tuner, which is, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Didn't think that'd be a huge issue or anything, but it's kind of funny. So yeah, so the flares I did really wide just to look like a patrol, really. Plus the wheels and the offset is ridiculous, but actually we're gonna color it first. So the color I went for was kind of almost black, but not entirely. There was not much low light in it, kind of like that. Also a little more matte, but not entirely. Just a semi-gloss, I guess. Then we can go way darker with that color. Alright. I actually don't mind the new color things. I mean, last time they were just like that, but that update was actually good. I don't mind that, but keep those like that if you're listening, creator. I like those ones. Alright, so basically, I think that's alright for now. I might change it around a bit. So we copy that, paste it in there, we can keep that. Wait, what am I painting? Oh. Let's see if we can just select, yeah, there, okay. So you want this kind of, just line up with this, more or less. Except this one's inverted, so all the way up is like nothing, and then all the way down. So we want just a little bit. Let's say it's alright. And just this one up here. There we go. I mean, that's looking alright. One thing I don't like about building like really dark colored builds is when you post them to anything, if someone's looking on their phone or on mobile, it just looks really, really dark and you can't see any of the details. So also I'm going to paint out the flares. That looks pretty good like that, but we'll make them a lot wider. I think I actually did maximum width on these. So all the way to the width. And then I'll split them afterwards, but just gotta get that lined up. I think I put them into it a little bit too, so just to make it a little more, less bolt on, more built, I guess. Not built, but just formed. Like the whole side was fiberglass or something. 7.9. Alright. Split that. Negative 7.9. There we go. For the front, pretty much the same thing, but they're a little differently shaped, so you have to be mindful of that. Yeah, I think I put them in a bit more. Yeah, like 8.1. Yeah, it looks. There we go. Alright, split that. Negative or positive 8. Not bad. There we go. Alright, so far this looking pretty good. We definitely gotta raise the suspension. Also what I did, I added a bit of rotation on it, so squat life, no, just kidding. No, other way rotation, not just like, that doesn't do much actually. I think it did like half amount, like a quarter. Just, it looks a little more aggressive, plus it shows off the engine a bit, so, because that's pretty much the main part of this build. But how's it looking in comparison? It looks close. I mean, could get better, but we'll see about that. I painted those a matte color. Also, I put in a mesh grill. I think I took it off a Ford Ranger or something. No, I can do that later. For the engine bay, I took the Williams 180SX chassis and just split. Just split off the. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. I split off the engine bay because that was a really high quality engine bay, but I'll probably put in parts. Oh yeah, I know what I called it. I just called it bay. There we go. Alright. And that colors the whole car again, which is no big deal, because I can just... Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, gee. Alright, 0303. There we go. Alright. Oh. That's interesting. Alright. And I painted this gold because to match the wheel centers, but we'll see about that. But I center it because I split it off. I'll center it like this. Alright. A little bit to the left. That's one thing I don't like about splitting files, because when you do it, if you do it on like a horizontal, then the files don't split evenly, so it's a little bit off. You can never get them perfectly centered, which really bothers me, but we'll keep it off. We'll center it a little bit. I'm not sure if I scaled this down at all. Hold on, I'm going to paint this. Just so I can see where it's going. So basically, yeah, I just split this off the 180SX, because the wheel wells are really detailed. Looks about alright. Frame rails, I gotta cover that up with a bumper of some sort, I guess. So, yeah, move that back a little. Even though in my old one you could see a gap between there. I just want it to look really clean gold, really good gold color. If you take like a almost orange and go a little lighter with it, so that looks kind of bad. But if you take like a darker orange or almost a red and put that as the undertone, well, that didn't work. Hold on. No, let's gotta add more gloss and more orange. Too much orange. It's kind of finicky, but add a little bit more of this. Make it a little oranger. Oranger, is that a word? I really don't care. Looks a little too glossy, I don't know. No, we can mess around with this later, but that's just how I get nice gold colors. I would say nice, but oh yeah, a little bit lighter on that, so there we go. It's decent. Alright, leave it like that. Oh, maybe a little less red. Alright, now I'll fix that. Actually, no, I'll do that now. So basically, to fill in the door gaps, just take another door, copy it, give it the color of all darkness. This is the 0. That makes it completely black like underbody. So that just looks terrible. So I just take the width and go one less wider, and then make the length as long as I possibly can. And then just kind of move that back until it fits. And there you go. Door gaps are filled and it looks really clean. I do that for most of my builds. I mean, the first time I did it was probably on that, I don't know if you remember, it was like a red Subaru Impreza 4-door, but yeah, so basically I do that for a lot of builds, just makes them look a lot cleaner. I mean, sometimes I don't do it if I don't have the time, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna remove this. Just doesn't look like I want it to look. And for the bottom, I trimmed off all this bottom using the cut key. I'll do that later, or I might leave that out, I'll see. And then I copied it and then flipped it all the way around. And then made like a tailgate kind of thing that looked clean. What else we gotta do? I have to do axles next. I mean, yeah, I'll do axles. That just helps get the whole car. Oh, there's my Civic with the B16. So many people asked for that file. I was like, no. I hate importing engine file parts, but I just kind of wanted to do that. So, what's that? Oh, that's a door. Didn't notice that before. Gotta make that a little shorter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should be enough. Sorry, I usually count out the number of clicks I do. It just helps get accuracy, because I want to do 2 parts like that. Then it's much easier. For the windows, I always make them. I repaint the windows, just make them fully gloss, and then just a little bit of transparency. Then to get that same color, just go up again, and there you go. Well, maybe that's too much gloss. I don't know. I'll have to fix that later. But alright, time for the axles. I already made the file for the axles and stuff. I like having organized things. Oh, wrong one. Axles, multiple. Alright, they also come with some pipes, which are useful. Good friend of mine, Kyle S, I'm not going to say the last name. He actually stopped building us, doing it for a while. It's kind of sad, but he made some really wicked off-road builds. I don't know if he was on Facebook or not, but he was definitely on the forums. We did a collab with Suburban Pre-Runner. That turned out really neat. That was the first probably off-road build I actually did. So yeah, hopefully you'll come back sometime. If you're listening, Kyle Stroh, no, said your last name, whatever. But yeah, that was his username as well, so I guess that doesn't really matter. But yeah, just build some more stuff. You're really good. Make the axles a little bigger. Maybe a little bigger. The front, I also didn't like how the front axle kind of ended before it should have on that, but on the earlier build. Might be able to see, yeah, if you see the front axle, it kind of just ends right there, which isn't really accurate. But also I might have to make a not a power steering, like a rack and pinion kind of steering. Crap, alright. Can't concentrate when I'm counting. I'm not really sure what kind of axles these are. I mean, I really like off-road stuff, but I'm not as obsessed with it as like cars and stuff. But I think they're Dana's. I'm not sure which type. Obviously some custom fab work around there. Really awesome file. I've used this for a ton of builds, but yeah. Alright. What I really liked about the other one is how the shocks came up through the holes in the engine bay. That just looked mint. Mint. Anyways. No, but it just looked really neat. But for these, I'm going to have to change that around a bit, because when I put the Fox Racing ones in, like, I might have mentioned this, but I really don't like these ones. Well, I do like them, but I have better ones that aren't one piece. So just line up as best as I can. That lines up really well, actually. And I think that's about good. I gotta fix the rear. That should be about centered with the wheel. I'm definitely changing this engine bay. I think I made it too high. Maybe 5 in stock. There. Because that was touching the differential, which is Not good. Alright, doing pretty well. I mean, the suspension is in. One more thing I did, the suspension is kind of angled down because I angled the suspension. So that's not really accurate. I gotta make the back more level, so I think I did like 10 degrees of rotation on it without moving the group because that would mess everything up. Maybe 5. 5 looked about right. And I'm still using these suspension coils to mock everything up, but for now I'll just use them. Yeah. Oh man, those are really wide. I guess the wheel's gonna be wide, but yeah, they're going over the over fender. That's kind of funny. Alright. Well, that's a little more progress on it, I guess. What else can we do? Alright. I guess I'll spawn in the stock wheels. And then I'll show you how I put my modded tires over them, because if you want to use S-tuner wheels with the hold on, I use Starion lips from the good old Mitsubishi Starion. I'd probably say that funny. Are they on here? Yeah, there we go. They just have a really big lip if you delete them out. Oh, one thing I forgot. Goodness gracious. Toggle shadows. Always toggle shadows. They look terrible. Like, look at that rim. Now look at it. It's like all these weird triangles. I like the effect of them, but if you just do a close-up detail video, they look terrible. No offense to Crater, or Test Tuner, Mr. S Tuner as we call him. But, yeah. I usually toggle that. Good thing there's a toggle though, because that's really useful. I think I did. Actually, I didn't do maximum profile on these. Or maybe I did. You know what? That actually fits pretty well. I'm going to keep it like that. This is just mocking it up. I'm not actually going to use these. I'm going to use my modded Baja tires. Yeah, that definitely didn't. The back's just so wide. Alright. That looks alright. Front. Yeah, I don't know why the front is so much narrower. More narrow than the back. I guess you can live with that. I also have to live with that, you know. A little bit in. Because I guess with these builds, most of the power goes to the rear anyways because they're drag racing, but alright. These pipes I'll use for the engine bay in a second. I also used exhaust number 11. That looked really neat. To do that bend over the shock though. For the engine bay, I think we're going to leave that for now. Right now I'm going to focus on wheels, I guess, because those really make the build sometimes. And before I do anything, I'm going to make the lean a little less because that's a bit too much. Just slightly. I like having a little bit of wheel gap on these builds, but I can't make it any higher, as you can see. But I'm not going to move the entire body just for that. So next, I'm just going to delete the. Actually, no. I guess no, I have to do this separately now that they have a different offset. But basically, just change the tire to like nothing. I make that even less. Actually. Alright, so make the tires to absolutely nothing basically. That just helps make the lip pop out a bit more, and then I can put the modded tire over that. I'm going to use my Baja tires. I think it was I took a Maxxis, what was it? It was a Maxxis M80 something 90, and I took I took it into Inventor, Autodesk Inventor. It's like AutoCAD. I use it a lot. I actually have some experience with it. I'm terrible at Blender, but I can somehow use that. But anyways, I modified them in that, and yeah, I modified them in that, made them look like a kind of just a BF Goodrich Baja, or is it called Baja? Not sure, but I made them look kind of like that, so I could use them on my desert builds, or my pre-runner builds, and builds like this, I guess. I used them on my Colorado Desert Racer. It wasn't really a pre-runner, it was way too built to be a pre-runner, so I didn't want to call it that, but it also wasn't really a trophy truck, so it's kind of like a buggy thing. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you just have to go look at it on my forums. Or the S-Tuning forums, my bad. I think it was one of my best builds of the year, so proud of that. Did I just copy that? Maybe. Alright. So now that the brakes, I wish you could delete the disc part, but that doesn't really matter because I'm going to black out the centers anyways. I might want to put max dish on these just to get the brake out of the way. Not max, just a little. It's a little off center, but that doesn't matter. Front, do the same. I can do a little more on the front because, yeah, alright. So, that's decent way to start. So, I'm going to load in the Baja tires. It should be right here, yeah. Okay, Baja tire. I think it's going to load above it, or possibly on the side. Yeah, okay, on the side. I'm going to copy this just in case, because I don't want the tires moving around. Those are really important to keep in the same spot. Let's see. Alright, I want to get a... I wasn't super happy with the color of them on the previous build. It looked a little too gray, so obviously, oh geez. Obviously you can't do like a transparent. You always want a little bit of white highlight under it. Not like that, that just looks really tacky. But I always go for a blue when I go for a gray because all the gray looks weird, but that's up to you. I think something like that will work really well. The other ones, the other tires in the previous one, I didn't really like them. They're too gray. Although you can't make them too black, or else they just look really just dark. Just like same color as a car, that won't look good. So I'm not sure if you even have to change the dimensions on these ones. I'm just gonna change the width real quick, but not too much. Hold on. Alright, that's 15 wider than normal. I'm gonna try and mount the front ones first, because so that lip right there, I might have to make the wheels a little smaller. That looks, I mean that looks good, but it's just grazing the top of that bumper. So I do make the wheel one smaller, 17. No, keep it 18s, but I'll make it a little length and width. So change the height and width and everything. That doesn't look good. Unless I move it left or right, yeah. That looks alright. I mean, it's still like barely grazing the top. I also gotta change the width. This is just gonna take a little bit to line everything up, but oh, that looks bad. That looks bad too. Scale the width a little, maybe. No. I'll figure this out in a second. I don't like having the super fat profile almost touch the over fenders, so that's also why I use a really large lip wheel, because you can get the tire to fit right under it. So that's good. Looks like I can't go in increments of 5, so I'll have to change it. But the good thing about putting modded tires on, once you have one good, you can just copy them all. I'm gonna change the width a little. I just don't like how these are fitting. I mean, I can live with that for now, but I almost clicked normal tires there. That would have put the face back and everything, but maybe put more of an angle on that. You know what, if I change, that almost goes with the, I might just leave that. It's kind of a trick you can do. Yeah, I'll leave that. I mean, not terrible. I'm also gonna put the braid wheels under these, or as like an inside, like a face of the wheel, rather than having a lip. Those wheels just look too, or not the wheels, tires is just way too wide, so I gotta scale them down a bit. Because it just looks ridiculous when they're way too wide. Alright, it's pretty decent. Can I go one more? Nope. Alright. Copy that, move it to the other side. There we go. Somehow that side fits better, which really bugs me. Oh no, it doesn't. Never mind. Alright, and I could move the front axle up a bit actually. I'm going to do that because there's tons of room. Because there's not much of a gap right in there, so move this wheel up too, or tire, my bad. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, I'll copy that one. Move it all the way back. Hopefully this fits decently. Yeah, because the tilt, I'm going to have to move it down a little bit. That's no big deal though. I think once I get these wheels on, I'm gonna end the video, but we'll see how long that takes. These ones fit a little better, honestly. No, they don't. Might move the rear back just to get that perfect fitment around the rim. Fitment's the wrong word, but fit. Yeah, that tire just looks so much better. The other one's just way too wide and way too gray. There we go. Alright, tires are on, and that's looking pretty decent. I also just finish up some details. So, these I kinda... Oh, that's the back, alright. That's good, actually. So for the front lights, I just kind of black them out. Well, not black them out, I put clear indicators on it instead. So that's pretty sweet. But for lights, I always do like a chrome in the middle. That really brings out lights, so... Same here. Just put that all the way up. Like the windows. Yeah, and then just change the transparency slightly, and that just gives you a really nice indicator. Because it still has that reflection on it, but it doesn't look just like white, like matte white. Paint these the same color basically. On the side. Oh, it's kind of hard to get. I'm not sure if the side is the same color as the... No, it's not. Alright, good. So I want these solid again, and then yeah. Alright, so I have to end the video right here because we're running out of time. Plus it's going to be a long video, so see you guys later. This has been part 1, I guess. So it's turning pretty